a problem that you and I came across was a lot of these teens and young adults only can name 6 to 8 jobs total. And it's almost always the same exact jobs. Because of that, the options they know of are very limited. And something you and I talk about a lot is the fact that they can't walk through a door if they don't know that door exists. And so the fundamental problem we've recognized is that teenagers and young adults are not taught what options are available to them. Over and over, what comes up is that, oh, you're not going to buy a college degree, go into the trades or go into the military. That's it. That's all they're given. They don't know that they can get into tech. They don't know that they can get into HR. They don't know that they can get into sales. They don't know that they can get into craft work, which is different from trade work. There's just so much that they don't know is open to them. Basically, what we're doing is designing this process to make sure that, one, their goals are clear or as clear as they can be, and then they know what options fit their goals so that they are picking work in a fundamentally different way from the way schools teach us to pick work.
I wanted to hone in on that vocational creativity piece for a second because that piece is so crucial, especially for young adults, but also for just everybody. And we've seen that when we help job seekers or career changers try to change careers. I say it all the time, but how can we hit a target that we don't know exists?
And something I wanted to isolate here too is that you specifically invented the concept of vocational creativity. Folks, Ryan defined and named that entire concept. So when you hear it out in the wild, because it's becoming something now that is in the language of people that are talking about the future of work, Ryan invented that methodology and that exercise. It's been so interesting to apply that to these young adults and realize that they are so limited because they have not been taught how to think about work and how to think about opportunities.
It's insane to say, but yeah, you can go back to the very first few episodes and we go over how I created it and why I created it and everything like that. And it's crazy to see other big publications use that word, those two words that I created and strung together for the first time. And was like, that's insane. You know, who am I? I'm just some dude with a microphone.
And you and I have been saying that the whole time as the language that we're using to reclaim this educational territory has been starting to be used in the mainstream. It's pretty wild to see that.
It is a problem if you are graduating from high school or if your child is graduating from high school and they only know 8 jobs. And the reason why it's a problem is because realistically speaking, those are the only jobs that those people are going to go after now. How do you hit a target that you don't know exists? You can't. You won't. It's not possible. They're going to try to do one of those 8 jobs. And if those 8 jobs are whatever, and they all require college degrees and they all require a lot of schooling and a lot of debt, well, then that's what they're going to go and pursue first because that's all they know.
This is such a huge point to drive home. If you're limiting the options that students know about. So if they are limited in what the paths they know they can take, and then of those paths, most of those paths require them to purchase degrees and to purchase multiple degrees and to purchase degrees that are very expensive or do not have good return on investment. Now, what is going to happen is 4 to 5 years in, when they finally finish their bachelor's degree, they're going to be unhappy and or stuck. And their options are to cut bait and then go buy another degree, which is what a lot of people will do, is now they go buy another bachelor's degree. Or worse, they'll continue further up the track into something that is not going to be able to pay their loans back. And people get very trapped, which is part of the reason why you and I started working with this age group, because we realized that they have an outsized advantage if they can avoid the student debt trap early on, especially right out of high school. If they have any idea of any other options, they can use the fact that they know that there are other ways to try and test. And then if they do want to go into something that does legally require them to have a degree to get a license, they can do that, but they can be sure. And also having them be older and away from this urgency of, oh, you have to commit, you have to fill out the FAFSA, you have to buy the loans, you have to sign the stuff, and just funneling them and shoving them right into the academic industrial complex. It's so much better for them to have time to breathe and just be sure if they're going to go that direction anyway. So pretty much everyone benefits. There's actually no one that doesn't benefit